don't you come on over here and let's find out a little bit more about you.
I think I'll walk over there.
Okay, come on over. That's the Max Brand Beat, everybody. They were fabulous, and that's just the beginning. There'll be more later. But let's find out about you. Who are you? Where'd you come from? How did you start? Let me first find out one question at a time, okay?
Yes, array of questions indeed. I just love them.
How did you start becoming a musician? Let's start with the birth.
Well, it was 7 years old, and there I was playing the piano by a teacher that just taught me a few little notes, and that never stopped. It just kept on going.
So you had lessons, or did you teach yourself?
I was classical lessons, you know. When I went, well, in the beginning, it was just tinker, tinker, and then it was like, okay, lessons came, classical, you know, and this is what you need to know, and that sort of thing, and that brought me to a place where I can do what I want to do.
Did a teacher once ask you, do you want to play by ear, or do you want to?
Yes, in fact, that's a funny story. She asked me at 7 years of age, do you want to play by ear or do you want to play by music? And I thought to myself, ear? I mean, you know, of course this is an inside joke. I can't play the piano with my ears. I want to play by music. So I started the classical lessons by music.
Now you're very lucky because you have such wonderful technique, and that's very important. Plus you've gotten into more of a soulful sound, which is great. Let's introduce the band. Why don't you tell us who's here with us?
Well, here with the band, and we're known as The Beat, but everybody's got the name The Beat, so we're known as the Max Brand Beat. And my longtime friend is Paul Suplee. He was my best man at my wedding in 1996, July 21st. And this guy just stepped up on stage when I was doing a show, and he just played the harmonica. And it's like, all of a sudden, that came to be. So he's been with me for a long time, in and out of the...
So that's the birth of Paul.
That's a birth of Paul
in
Suplee,
the band,
yes.
okay.
And then I went to Nashville, and I came back from Nashville in '06, and I came up with Lawrence D. Goodwin in the summer of, and now we've been together come in August, about 2 years that we've been playing with many musicians, and it's been a lot of fun having Lawrence D. Goodwin on my band.
And he looks so cool in those sunglasses, too.
And he's a good bass player. And then I came across at a show at Pier 23, David Blood, who stood in for the Freddie Roulette Band that had Michael Borbridge and Harvey Mandel and people like that, you know, that they do this show. And I really liked him, and I went up to him, I said, do you mind if you, you know, give me your telephone number and, you know, we'll exchange. And he's been with me since those days.
Oh.
And then we did a show at the Granton Green, and the old drummer didn't show up, and this Peter French here showed up, and he did a marvelous, marvelous time and show and energy that he said, if you have a CD, I'd like to do more stuff with you guys, and we were like ever so glad to continue this, and that makes up the Max Brand Beat.
That's so great. And what do you do during the day, and what do you do during the night?
Well, I'm married. That's a full-time job. I do the taxi thing to keep the passion alive. I was introduced to the job by David Blood. David Blood has been with Arrow Cab Company for 7 years, and he said, if you know the city and you need to do something to keep the passion alive, well, maybe you should do this. And so that's what I've been doing since last August.
It's hard being an artist and making money.
Yeah, I'm not as fortunate as Elvin Bishop and Harvey Mandel that they have a name that they can continue their way without having a day job.
Well, after this TV show, you'll be discovered.
Well, thank you very much.
And the great band too.
And Peter here and Lawrence and Paul, I just love these guys.
Well, we love you too. You sound great. Thank you. We're going to hear more from the band later.